Welcome back to 911fitness.tv. With me today is Chris Barbosa, the owner and CEO of Physiotraining and Physiotraining.net. Her studio is a jiu-jitsu and fitness club where she is a physical therapist and personal trainer. Big time in demand, right off of Hallandale Beach Boulevard and 995 in South Florida. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
What we're going to talk about are some of the moves that some of your competitors, some of your students, some of your instructors do here. They've already demonstrated some of the things. You know, some of our viewers, they want to know, how do I get my core tight? How do I get my back strong? How do I get my legs powerful? You know, they all want to build muscle, they all want to lose fat. You know, we saw some great movements here. Explain the benefits of the ladder. We just saw them go through the ladder. What are some of the benefits?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to mention that by doing certain things such as the ladder, the tire, all these movements that don't require the weights, forces you to be aware of your core and aware of your body. And that is a main point, because if you're aware of it, you're preventing injury and you're able to do the functional strengthening that we were talking about before. Now, obviously, this is different, dynamic, they don't get bored, and obviously they will build up with time. And most than anything, balance, equilibrium, ability to heal, ability to come across with the core strengthening is definitely one of the biggest benefits from this kind of workout.
So it looked very simple. They were just moving their feet, they were doing different movements with affecting their hips, there were some lateral movements, there were some different kind of movements. So,
Yes.
So then we went into tossing the tire back and forth, back and forth. What were some of the benefits of that?
Well, for sure, deceleration, which means when you're slowing down, receiving that tire, you're now able to control that motion and be able to recruit that motion when you most need it, possibly even in the daily life. That's a major aspect when you're receiving the tire. Of course, you're doing the squat as you're receiving it. You're then using your arms. You're having to contract your core, because if you don't do that, then you couldn't handle the tire. You'd probably fall back. So initially, you're doing that, and at the same time, you're strengthening your muscles. I mean, think about it. Your butt, your legs, your arms, your neck, everything else, and having to pay attention to your posture, which for me is a major aspect of this.
Chris, that's a very powerful explanation of when she talked about how you're descending and you're receiving the muscle. Tons of research on how when muscles lengthen in an eccentric or a negative contraction motion, this is how powerlifters get stronger. They train when the muscles are lengthening. And when you're receiving that tire, your muscles are getting longer. Everything is in a negative movement. Power, power, power. Yeah. Excellent. What about when they were sprawling? What about when mine? It looks like a grasshopper, down the ground, up, in the same time of hitting the tire.
Well, sparring is definitely a fight move, and we use that in our workouts because it assists you to see where you're going. I mean, you don't want to fall back. God forbid something happens, you will fall down. You want to know how to fall, and that's a major aspect. Fighters use that to be able to get away from takedowns. So that is definitely something that you use it for. But also, again, one part of the deceleration, because they have to control, otherwise they'll bank the floor. Or they're also using it to get it going, the heart rate, get it pumping, and you got a lot of sweat with
that.
Let
me ask you this: could you see a fireman doing something like that? Maybe going into a burning building, tripping. Do you have to get up quickly?
Absolutely, and if something is flying over towards them, they'll go down. Exactly.
And what about a cop? A cop may be tripping, or maybe having to duck down to take cover, get down on the ground, and maybe get up and...
Think about getting shot, God forbid, trying not to get shot or trying to avoid a predator coming over to you. That will be a way. And you notice how Maya stand up real quick. And that is another aspect of it as well. You want to be able to go down, but you want to be able to come right back up and continue your training, your fighting, your running, whatever it is that you need to do.
Powerful information. You heard it from one of the best, Chris Barbosa, physical therapist, training expert here at High Energy Jiu-Jitsu and Fitness Studio. We'll be back with some more, so stay tuned.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.